In 1995, the NBA expanded by 2 teams, trying to branch out to Canada, with the Vancouver Grizzlies and the Toronto Raptors. Now, with disputes with a new stadium and lack of attendance in Vancouver, the Vancouver Grizzlies looked for a new home. They eventually decided on the state of Tennessee and the city of Memphis. Now, with Memphis, there were a lot of low expectations. It was the first professional sports team that the city had, and people weren't sure how people were going to support a struggling franchise. So the Memphis Grizzlies management had to come up with a marketing campaign to really inspire the city. The Memphis Grizzlies, they started the Grit and Grind campaign, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. The Grit and Grind campaign was not only a campaign that influences the way they market to the city, but also the way they run their business altogether. It started with just a look at what the people of Memphis are like. The city of Memphis is a very poor city, and the poverty level is very high there, due to a kind of a mindset of just kind of struggling, like you just have to grit and grind your way through the day, I guess. And that's due to a big manufacturer, FedEx, being a big employer in the city of Memphis. So through that, they try to relate to their, I guess, wannabe fans, and go out to the workplace, go out into the city of Memphis, and try to relate with them in a way that a team is just like them, a team that they can support, and a team that's truly Memphis. They did this by getting players that are gritty, additions of Tony Allen, just a mean defensive player from the Celtics, also had championship experience, who played for Boston as well. Zach Randolph, who also was not a very favorable pick in Portland before, when he was on the famous Gel Blazers. And also the recent addition to Matt Barnes. Those are 3 good examples of gritty players that the Memphis Grizzlies have signed. Along with that, they have picked up Marc Gasol, who is a Memphis product. He's originally from Spain, but played his high school ball at Lausanne in Memphis. So through that, they have related to the city of Memphis, and have used this marketing campaign to run their business and to run their playing style. Memphis has also been very successful, not only due to scoring high points, but just by playing strong defense and kind of taking that grit and grind approach to the way they go out into the court and play every day. And yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say.
So today I'm going to talk about probably the biggest overreaction in pro sports in recent history. Now that, of course, is Deflategate. The fact that a single pound per square inch has caused a tarnish on the NFL in whole over the past 9 months or so. Now this all started in the AFC Championship game last year between the Patriots and the Colts. The Patriots won that game 45-7, and after a Tom Brady interception in the first half, one of the Colts players said the ball felt a little deflated, and then the Colts upper management decided to corner the NFL Vice President of Operations and make them do something about it. An investigation was launched, spending millions of dollars in an independent investigation by Ted Wells. That investigation came out to say that it was more probable than not that the Patriots had somehow tampered with the footballs. And then Roger Goodell decided, with his punishment, unilaterally to fine the Patriots $1 million and 2 draft picks, one of being a first rounder, the other 4th. They also decided to suspend Tom Brady, someone who was not directly linked in any way, there was no smoking gun, to what had happened with the footballs. Now, Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, came out and said that they would not be appealing the $1 million or the draft picks, which are very key to sustaining a viable football program. But Tom Brady, with the Players Association, did decide that they did not like how Roger Goodell had unilateral control of the punishment and suspended him for 4 games, which would actually with his salary be more than what the entire organization was fined. So a separate investigation was launched, and it was found that it was more probable than not that Tom Brady had a general awareness of what was going on. Now, if I went to my mother and said that it was more probable than not that it was generally aware that my little brother had something done, then something would happen. But this is the NFL, and Roger Goodell decided that he was just going to punish Brady out of nowhere on the level with performance-enhancing drugs, or in the most recent NFL controversy, beating somebody. Domestic violence charges are both 4-game suspensions. So I don't know how 1 pound per square inch in a football is equal to those 2 other things, but in a New York appellate court, the decision-making process was overturned and Brady was freed. Tom Brady has now gone on to win 5 straight games in MVP fashion, only throwing 1 interception. And also, footballs are now go through a 23-step process to make sure that they don't have any unfair advantage. Steroids are apparently equal 2 pounds per square inch. Thank you.
The 2015 campaign for the Miami Dolphins was supposed to be one to remember. So far, it has been one to forget. It started off with a season-opening win against the Washington Redskins. Ever since, it's been downhill. 3 straight losses sent the Dolphins franchise into panic mode, which resulted in Joe Philbin and Kevin Coyle being fired for lack of discipline and control of their team. There are numerous reasons for why the Dolphins are struggling so bad. One of them is that left tackle, Pro Bowler Brandon Albert has been suffering a hamstring injury for the first 4 weeks and has not played. You can definitely see it in the Dolphins' running game because there has not been any of it. And Ryan Tannehill, the quarterback for the Dolphins, has been sacked more than any other quarterback this season. Ryan Tannehill has also been struggling, even though he does have an excuse with the poor offensive line, but he has completed less than 50% of his passes and has the 2nd lowest rated QBR rating in the league. Now, it's not just the offense to blame. The defense has its share of woes too. After signing the highest paid defensive player in NFL history in Ndamukong Suh, we still have not recorded, or we have only recorded 1 sack as an entire defense in 4 games. And Ndamukong Suh had recorded 36 sacks in the last 4 seasons by himself. So obviously it's not just the offense's fault, it's also the defense. They need to step up and play with their game. But it's not just the high-paid players that are struggling. The whole team just looks out of energy, lackadaisical, and just does not want to be there. So with the change that they made, Joe Philbin being fired, they brought in Dan Campbell, a former tight end, NFL veteran who played for numerous teams over 10 years, and he has brought a lot of energy and charisma to the team. His first day of practice, he actually brought out the Oklahoma drill, which is an old drill used just for contact and just aggression, just to get people to hit each other. And the reason he did this was because he wanted to see who wanted to be there. So it's a big factor and very important into having like high energy for the football team. Dan Campbell's career started off pretty well this past Sunday with a 38-10 win over Tennessee. The team looked very energetic and had a lot of charisma with big hits and big tackles all over the place. Our team captain, Cameron Wake, was the MVP of the game with 4 sacks by himself, which quadrupled the total of sacks that we had the whole season. He also had 2 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery. And Ryan Tannehill also threw for a touchdown pass. And our running game actually woke up because Brandon Albert, our Pro Bowl left tackle, was back in the game. And Lamar Miller rushed for 100 yards, our running back. And Jarvis Landry also had a rushing touchdown. So the team looked really well under Dan Campbell's reign. And the future looks bright. If the team continues to play this well, we will definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
Hi, my name is Drew Davis, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something that makes the University of Miami somewhat unique. The University of Miami was founded in 1925 in Coral Gables, Florida. It is a private school that offers a 4-year education to many students. There are a lot of attractive features and qualities about the University of Miami. Some say it might be its close proximity to South Beach, or others might say that the weather is just so miraculous that people who live there and go to school there never end up wanting to move. But one thing that makes the U is the hand signal. The hand signal for the U was created in 1973 by a male cheerleader during a Florida State game week. Miami was taking on Florida State on that Saturday, and on a Tuesday, a male cheerleader for the University of Miami created a hand gesture that looks something like this right here, and it is something that is now forever indebted to the University of Miami. The reason behind the creation of the hand signal of the U was to rival their arch rival, the Florida State Seminoles, whose logo and gesture is the tomahawk chop. So this is important to the University of Miami because over the last 30 years, it has grown to a worldwide recognition. It has benefited the university in countless ways, whether it's marketing, clothing, or as I said, just worldwide recognition. So for instance, if you were traveling out of the country and walking the streets in London and say you saw somebody on the other side of the road wearing a Miami Hurricane shirt or any sort of hat or merchandise, you would simply look at them, and if you made eye contact, the thing that you do now is throw up the U, and it's pretty worldwide. And for most of those that know the slang term for hottie toddy, when you see a fellow rebel, whether it's at the airport or anywhere, that's pretty much something that the University of Miami has made a part of their life and a part of their school. It has gotten to the point where now the campus police, they're known as the U Police, and the hospital is the University of Miami Hospital, and their nickname is U Health. Over the last 30 years, it's been interesting and it's been fascinating to see that the takeoff and the acceleration of the U and where it's headed.
My name is Caroline Wharton. I'm here to talk about something that I support, which is the Dove Self-Esteem Project. The Dove Self-Esteem Project was put into place to show women how beautiful they are inside and out, and to build confidence in young women. They've done this through research, which what they found was astonishing. As women, we tend to see ourselves as less attractive or unattractive based on what the media, society, and the fashion business sees as beautiful, and Dove is determined to change that. Through this project, they've done many campaigns to show women that beauty is what they think of themselves. Oh, Lord. The Dove Change One Thing campaign asked young teenage girls, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? The video showed that what one girl wishes she could change, another girl wished she had, such as a girl with curly hair wishes she had straight hair, and a girl with straight hair wishes she had curly hair. And it shows that no matter what, you should love who you are and what you have, because somewhere someone is wishing that they had the same things that you have, and vice versa. Dove also did a beauty sketch campaign in which several women went into a room and described what they looked like to a sketch artist who was unable to see them. After they described what they looked like, a stranger who had met them earlier that day came in and also described what that person looked like. When the women were shown what the two sketches looked like, they were floored. They noticed that the sketch that they described to themselves was a lot less happier and vibrant and just all around not as good looking as the person who saw them and saw when they talk that their eyes light up, and that personality has a lot to do with your beauty within. And the last campaign that they did actually started the whole thing and started a global phenomenon, which was called the Real Beauty Project. And this took 6 women from across the nation with different backgrounds, ethnicities, and completely different body types. And they did this through putting them in their bra and underwear on a giant screen in Times Square. Now, most women would be way too afraid to do this and worried about what other people might think of them or what imperfections they may have, but these women were on a mission. They are on a mission to show that beauty comes in all different shapes and sizes, and confidence has a major part in that. And since then, Dove has tried to do that over the past 10 years. And through all of their campaigns, they have not once advertised one of their products. Not once. Which I think speaks volumes of them as a company, because they're really trying to make a difference and not sell more products. So I hope this is just the beginning, And a few companies have already joined Dove in this Real Beauty campaign, and hopefully more will do so in the future. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Allie Wassel reporting to you live from Bishop Hall on Monday, October 19th. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a subject that I strongly support and I strongly encourage everyone to follow. Today I'm going to be discussing active and healthy lifestyles. Every day you wake up and you make decisions, and every day some of those decisions might include what you're going to eat. What you're going to eat for breakfast, what you're going to eat for lunch, what you're going to eat for dinner, and sometimes what you're going to snack on. Also, you may wake up and think about the physical activity for the day. Are you going to ride your bike to school or work? Are you going to walk to school or work? Are you going to drive your car? You also may think about, are you going to do 30 minutes of cardio or watch TV on the couch for 30 minutes? All these decisions that you make early in the morning have a huge impact on your life and on your health for the rest of your life. Healthy eating is essential for a strong body. It provides the body with nutrients and energy you need for effective functioning every day. It also reduces the risks of getting diseases later on in life, which includes heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, and many types of cancer. Along with good nutrition, physical activity is key for maintaining a stable weight, which is also critical as you age. Your metabolism slows down, so retaining that weight is perfect as you age. It's not only about what you eat, but also how much you eat. You can have a balanced diet which includes a variety of nutrients from the following 5 food groups, which are proteins, grains, fruits, vegetables, and dairy. Most people don't know that having a balanced diet along with not only 3 meals a day, but 5 meals a day is very important. You need to have, of course, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but smaller portions. And in between, you can have snacks from anything from a smoothie to an apple and peanut butter to granola and yogurt. But the more you eat in smaller portions helps your body metabolize the foods quicker. Like I said before, though, it's not only about your nutrition, but it's also about the physical activity. An average adult needs to exercise about 2 hours and 30 minutes each week, which is not a lot. But even a small amount of exercise each day, about 10 minutes of small activity can do something. So altogether, having good nutrition with physical activity has multiple benefits, which include better sleep quality, longer life expectancy, and lower heart rates. So in the end, it's not hard to eat well and exercise.
Good afternoon, my name is Austin Ivey, and today I'm going to be talking about permanent foundations. Now you may look at me and ask, permanent foundations, what are you talking about? So I'm going to explain to you. By permanent foundations, I mean fraternities. Fraternities have held important parts and aspirations in men's lives for over centuries of years. And according to the Ball State University research on Greek life, a fraternity is a group of men who come together and form a bond based on brotherhood. Brotherhood is that one principle that men find in another, a group of men that helps that man reach his potential or helps that man become a better man in life. And the fraternity which I am in, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, was founded on December 4th, 1906 at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. This fraternity was founded by 7 courageous men, in which we call our jewels, who basically paved the way for centuries of work, community service, and manly deeds, scholarship, and the love for all mankind. Now, the National Panhellenic Organization, which is also called the Divine Nine, consists of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and many other organizations in which they have built centuries of work and community service that are still strong and are even stronger today. And they have built centuries of work and are still strong today. Can I start over?
No, keep going.
Okay. The New Assn chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established here on March 20th, 1978 by 7 men in which we call our pearls. Today, the New Assn chapter is one of the most, I would say, prestigious chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha today right here on our campus of Ole Miss. And as you can see, we do a lot of work in the community, More Than a Meal, Boys and Girls Club, March of Dimes. We also help out with breast cancer walks, and we also contribute to a national program that we're trying to get going at Alpha Phi Alpha called the Cannon Doja Project, which talks about alcohol awareness.
All across the country, United States high schools and elementary schools and middle schools have been experiencing mass budget cuts, and especially in their athletic and arts programs. The horrible thing about this problem is that there has been mass research done that shows how beneficial arts and athletic programs are to low-income, underage students. People who have athletic and arts-rich programs in their lives throughout high school and elementary school are 3 times more likely to graduate and go on to earn a bachelor's degree, and those who don't are 5 times more likely to not graduate high school at all without any arts or athletic programs at all. There has been a lot of research that disproves this, but it's mostly been deemed just unsuccessful and everything because it's those who concentrate in science and math and language departments who find art to be not necessary or a waste of money, as it's the first thing to get cut. The biggest problem is that people who are cutting athletic programs are cutting the soccer, volleyball, baseball, basketball, but wouldn't dare to touch football programs for obvious reasons in the South and even up north. And that's just very unfair to those who might not have a chance to succeed in life without a scholarship for athletics or even art or music. The problem with cutting all these programs, especially with arts, is you lose a loss of culture, a loss of opportunity for students, especially in low-income families, to have any means to succeed or find something that they might not know they even possess to have. Especially with music and art, if you don't have the means to perform your art or even know that your art exists, you might never have the opportunity to go to college or deserve a scholarship. With the athletic foundations in high schools and middle schools being cut, it's more of an elite only, as they are making pay-to-play programs in where students and their families are having to pay over $1,000 a year for their kids to play in athletic programs. And a lot of people can't afford these things, and their children are becoming more obese and dropping out of school because they don't have the means to be athletic in school.